Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signor, and man, some interesting things are happening on the stock market with GameStop, AMC Theaters, and now others, all thanks to Reddit. You guys have been seeing this online, trying to figure out what's going on, or maybe you are a trader jumping on these trends. I wanted to try and react to this. I've spent some time looking up myself, and I brought in my man, the Wancho. What's up, dude?
I'm doing all right, man. How are you doing, Andy?
I'm doing good. I know we were talking, and a lot of this makes a little bit more sense to you. So thank you for helping me correct me. I got to put out there right away. This is not any financial advice. Do not listen to. We don't know what we're talking about. We are just talking about the news, reacting in our way. But I think legally we have to sort of say that too, because again, we're going to give you our analysis of what's going down because this is a pretty big deal from everything I've gathered and the insight I've watched that I want to make sure you guys are paying attention to. All right, so Wancho, let's break down this. So this is what happened here. GameStop, the game store that really no one really ever goes to anymore.
Power to the players.
Maybe you get some used games once in a while, but GameStop, which was seemingly on its way out, has now skyrocketed in stock. So here's the last day. If you look at just the last 5 days, bam! Oh, just over the course of 24 hours, 48 hours, they skyrocketed from over here where they were. Let's go back even a month. Look at this. January 11th, $19 a share. Now today, closing out at $347 a share. That is a huge increase. So if you had put some money, if you had it, you would have. I don't know the percentage. I'm not that good at math, but Wancho, that would have been a pretty
like 3,000% almost kind of thing.
Ooh. Those are the types of short, big wins that people hope for that it's so hard to predict, but there it is. But now, guys, it looks like AMC is the next one that now, that as they've been talking about on Reddit, here's the analysis. Bam! This was $2. So it's like $2 a share, and now at the end of the day, it's already up to $20 a share, and some are expecting it by the next day or so to skyrocket even further. Again, not telling you to buy, not telling you. I'm just the speculation of what people are doing. Now, why is all this happening? Well, it's fascinating, as I've learned. And Wancho, please help me correct as I sort of try to do my rundown of what I've gathered.
Yeah, no, this is your show. You go ahead and take the lead. I'll step in and correct where
I'm ignorant. Because basically, Wall Street is out there, hedge funds, all these people who broker and do these deals. They're doing whatever tricks they can to sort of help control the market. There's a lot of sneaky things they do. They plant things in the media. They talk about how GameStop's clearly going down. A lot of this stuff happens, and then what a lot of these hedge funds do is they buy what is called a short. They buy shorts to sort of bet that the stock is going to go down. And there's a lot of sort of insight and analysis out there that says like a lot of these hedge fund companies, a lot of these big, billion-dollar companies out there, Wall Street brokers, it's all part of the plan to sort of like start telling people, get them nervous, get them to buy, sell. Meanwhile, they've bought the short, and they're sort of playing the game the best they can, doing whatever they can through the market. So what was going to happen was that they all bought, they were all, tons of people, these hedge funds, again, sorry my lingo isn't great, all these hedge funds bought to short GameStop. And so someone on Reddit discovered that there was, I don't know, tons of shares that were bought and tons of money, and decided, you know what, why don't we make it so this doesn't actually short? What if we could raise it? And so what they did is they started spreading the word on Reddit, and then it spread pretty fast, and all these people with small amounts of money ended up buying stock out of nowhere for a stock that nobody thought would ever go back up. And then whisper down the lane, more and more people heard it. Streamers and some internet celebrities, the word started skyrocketing, where suddenly this is what actually happened. The stock went zoomed right back up. And so this short that all these billion-dollar Wall Street fat cats bought, suddenly we're losing billions on it because now they had to pay off the amounts that it just rises. So Wancho, correct me.
Yep. So you've got it mostly right. It's just one hedge fund with like a consolidated group of guys. They're basically buying the stock from GameStop, and they were trying to keep the price low as possible. That way they could sell it back off, and that would just wind up depreciating the value of the stock. That's what that means by shorting the stock, by basically like, oh, hey, I'm going to buy this for $5. I'm going to sell it off for $3. But because these people are willing to buy it off, I'm just going to still wind up making a profit off of it. What they weren't counting on was the internet and Reddit getting together saying, that's some shady stuff, and we don't have any love for GameStop, but this is BS. This is a BS move. We're going to go ahead and we're going to drive that price up. We're going to buy up the remaining stocks, like shares of the company ourselves, as much as we can get it. And the fact that it was being bought off so quickly wound up driving the price up. In a 24-hour period, it doubled from like if it was yesterday up to today. So it was like from $30 and it went up to 70.
Yeah, here's the one day.
In
So
that,
if
I'm looking at that correctly, yeah, no,
it was like
okay,
right
no,
here
it's
on the
worse.
22nd. It was like
Holy cow!
Yeah, go
So yeah, on the 21st, it was like 40 something, and then
$38, and then
within half a day, you see between the 25th and 26th,
it did
just
double.
jumped in there.
Yeah, it went doubled about in the day, and then it went up again.
Yep.
Went to 117.
117,
then a little bit of a dip.
It dipped back down. But
and then
as of now, it's
that 26th to
more than
27th
double
is
what
when
they
it
got on there.
Yeah, it went from
the
76.
Beauty of all this.
Yeah, 76 to 300 over the course of the day there.
Yep.
Yeah.
The beauty of all of this is that the speculation that these guys at these at this hedge fund put out, it expires this Friday. So if unless something dramatic happens between now and then that causes the price to like drop back down like a rock in the pond, they're going to have to make the difference when they sell that. They are committed to selling that, and at this point, that hedge fund is going to go bankrupt because of their shady tactic, because they wound up trying to like, oh, hey, this company's not going to be worth much. Oh, hey, guess what? Guess who ain't worth much anymore? You suckers.
Yeah, it's amazing. It sort of shows that, look, the reality is you can't, nothing is sacred or obvious in the stock market. It is all a gamble. And so, but what's interesting about this, and thank you for correcting me. I was trying my best to seem like I was smart. Clearly, I don't know what that's, I warned everyone.
That's all right.
I don't know what the hell I'm talking about in this topic, but I'm trying my best. Because what I love here is this, what I do know about it is the fact that it's all a scam and it's all the rich getting richer. It's all these companies and people with all this money who are buying and tricking and figuring out what's going to work. But then once the little guy figures out a way to beat it, now what's fascinating is the little guy, the middle class, they get the win suddenly. And now I see all these hedge funds on the news. They're like, well, you know what? We should start regulating this because the control's now out of our hands. And it's so amazing to watch these rich billionaire things that are so shady do whatever they can do to just keep getting more millions and more millions. Now lost millions, and they're all like, oh crap, what do we do? So that's what's the most interesting part of this story is that the regular everyday Redditors have now rallied enough other people to go do this. And it's all through this, just so we're talking about it, it's called Wall Street Bets. It's a subreddit over on Reddit. And actually they got taken down for a time minute. Now at time of taping 15 minutes ago, they're back up. And there's a whole spiel here on where to go find them. And so many people are now trying to take the name. They got kicked off of Discord because it grew up so fast that sudden one out of the 250,000 people in there was being toxic, and so Discord shut them down. And this is a chaos of what's happening. But if you look at the headlines, it's like surge after chaotic revolt against the big fight. Like the media out there, no one knows how to process this because, correct me if I'm wrong, this is a game changer. It's a game changer where the power of the people now has suddenly taken over the Wall Street hedge funds and the people.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's now become a fair playing field, which of course the fat cats and the billionaires are like, whoa, no, we need the control back.
Like hold up, the rules are for thee, not for me, man. No, sorry, buddy, but we figured out your game. And there are even folks online who are calling this like the next evolution of occupying Wall Street. No, where they were invading Wall Street now, playing by their rules, pointing out the hypocrisy of the rules, gaining by it, giving that power to regular Joe Schmoes like you and me. And these guys are now clamoring, oh no, there must be oversight, there must be regulation, when they were spending millions of dollars lobbying to Congress, getting to their the congressman that they grease their pockets every year to try and keep Wall Street as unregulated and as chaotic as possible, so these schmoes can try to take advantage of that, and that's what winds up driving companies to the ground. I'll say this right now, I don't really have that much love for GameStop because the one thing that about them is that they have a whole wall dedicated to nothing but Funko Pops, and they short you whenever you try to sell your old video games, and they wind up jacking the price afterwards.
Yep, facts.
So, but it isn't even for the company itself. It's to prove a point. It's to prove, okay, you guys have been playing rough all this time. Well, we can play rough too. And you know what? We don't want GameStop to go away. We want them to do better, so we'll keep them afloat. And as the headline that you're showing there, Andy, is showing, they're doing the same with AMC.
Yeah.
And this is a big thing, like with like home theater, like streaming platforms, HBO Max, Netflix, all these guys trying to drive as many people towards these platforms as possible. AMC was at death's door almost because they're like the biggest conglomeration of movie theaters, and now we're seeing their stocks going up as well. So like there may be some hope. I don't know how much.
Yeah, it
I'm
feels
not
like they've pivoted over to AMC sort of in that one, like, all right, well, let's say movie theaters. We have all this attention and power. What can we do? All right, well, that's one that's
Right.
down. Let's see if we can lift it up because they're getting screwed. I mean, what's interesting is you read the article. It's like apparently because the prices, the trading was temporarily halted because to temper volatility. Is that normal? I mean, that's crazy.
It's wild.
Why did they shut it down? Those were real numbers that were going. Isn't that sort of the reality of what it is? But they got whoa, we have to shut this down.
Like there's too much demand for the stock here of AMC. We saw that it was like $2 and then it jumped up to almost $20. That's 10 times its worth, and that's jumping up over the course of a couple of days. And you see that just 45-degree angle of increase.
Yeah, and if you bought them early and now you hold on to it, now's the game. When do you sell? Do you keep it? Will this jump up to $200 tomorrow? That's the whole problem. Will it just probably you're not going to lose your investment on this one. This probably would have been a good one to buy at $2. Even given what's going to happen, people who didn't buy this were probably kind of stupid because you're going to at least get a 50 cents on it or something from a $2. That's low, right? So the fact that it's jumping up to 20 and who knows if it can keep going, you'll have a warning, right? You can sort of sell your stocks. You can put shorts and you can buy shorts and stuff to ensure that you don't go completely if you know what you're doing. But again, not telling anybody what to do. But I can see like a lot of people are going to see this today, and I can only assume are going to be buying AMC stock right now just because they can afford to, and they're going to want to. Yeah, they're going to want the windfall if it goes there.
Oh yeah, definitely. The folks are going to want to jump in on that Reddit page. They want to be in on the community. It's all about FOMO, fear of missing out. It's all about, holy crap, this Reddit page out of nowhere that just a week ago wasn't doing much but like discussion and stuff.
I wanted to call this out just because it's on screen, but it's like here's someone who literally, I love you guys, someone who was able to pay off their student loans, $23,000 based off of what they made in the transaction. Like this is cool. Like this is real life, real people that deserve it, not more rich getting richer, fat cat Wall Street people. So this is a really exciting story, and it's good for them. And what's going to be interesting to follow this story is, do they try to regulate? How are they going to try and do this? Because the reality is there's been talk of people trying to say, well, this is insider trading. But again, not an expert, but from my knowledge, insider trading is when you know, hey, Verizon's about to buy AT&T, so I'm going to buy more Verizon stock. Like when you know inside info that it's going to affect the public doesn't know. Like there were a lot of talk about, to put it in perspective, what we know, there were some friends of Joe Rogan that many people assumed, oh, they must have known that he was moving to Spotify and ended up buying stock before Joe Rogan joined. Like that would be an example of inside trading. And so when we're putting it all on the internet and it's all up on Reddit on a board that anybody has access to and can watch, and they're all just saying, hey, let's all buy this. Is that illegal?
No, it's not illegal. They're buying it in the market just like anybody else.
And it's not you don't have to hide your buys though, right? Why don't you, like, if you want to buy something, you can announce to the world, hey, I just bought $1,000 shake of 7-Eleven. If anybody else wants to join me, is that illegal?
No, it's not illegal. It's basically the equivalent of posting a photo of your dinner on Instagram. It's basically that. You can say like, oh, hey, I just bought share in this company over here. I think they got a solid future. If you think the same way, go ahead and invest in them. Anyone can really do that. Anyone can go into the market. If you work on like an app called Robinhood, for example, you can use that for like managing your trades. You can go in and buy it if you've got spare cash and if you're willing to invest and if you're willing to take the risk of losing money too. Anybody can jump in. The problem with it that these guys are trying to call it insider trading is like, oh no, somebody statistically out there must be working for GameStop, so they must know. BS. If anybody's got any inside notes, it'd be the guys in the hedge fund, because they work within their system to try and work their financial magic and voodoo, pinning needles into the doll of GameStop to try and depreciate the value. So they would work with like media companies and like bloggers like, oh hey, GameStop ain't all that hot these days, is it? It looks like it's closing. It looks like it's shutting down. They would drive those kind of articles and push that like nobody's business to get people to sell, to get people to have bad publicity on that. And like, oh no, I don't think I want to deal with GameStop anymore. Besides, who needs to buy video games anymore? I can just get it at like Best Buy or Walmart, or I can order online. These guys who run these hedge funds, who work in Wall Street, they have their hands in everything, and like when it comes to like social media, so they can drive that, and they get the return on investment by getting to sell that stock cheap and make profit off of that. And it turns out regular ass folks, just like you and me, on Reddit, went in and showed what power to the player actually means. We're the players, and they just lost. Thank you for playing the game.
Yeah, it's fascinating to watch, and I'm going to keep it on. I wish I understood the market better, because I might try to play a little bit, but it's always a risk, we should say, especially shorting and all this stuff. Day trading is always riskier, obviously, so just be careful. Just because it seems you hear this and you get enticed, well, I'm going to go buy, you could lose it all. So don't always be careful and research and talk to people, etc. Exactly, experts, to make sure before you do anything. But clearly something interesting here is going on. Fascinating, and what the hypocrisy that's already starting to happen, the media coverage of this, and how they're labeling this Reddit group, which are just people who banded together to try and beat these hedge fund billionaires. And it's amazing. There are videos out there and coverage of people just, they're all like, the fact that these hedge funds are now, who would never want regulation, are now trying to talk about regulation. The irony is insane, of how they're like, they just want the control, right? That's what's happening. So to see them sweat, to see them have to pay, more power to Reddit for pulling this off. I hope it is going to be very interesting to see how they wield this power. Will the FCC step in at some point, right? Or the SEC, right? Who is it? The stock.
It would be the Federal Trade Commission, the FTC.
FTC. Well, who knows if they're gonna. At the same time, it seems like nothing illegal has actually happened, but they may try to make it seem like it is. And so it'll be interesting to see if they try to do this. But as this headline says, revolting against big street. I mean, I guess they are revolting against the big Wall Street funds. It's time to spread the wealth and let other people have the chance out there, and not just the big rich ones. And what's interesting is now, since a lot of these people clearly won big, as there's sort of some of them showing off, they're going to have the money now to even compete more, to try and to buy more shares, to do more things. So it's going to be very interesting how this plays. Will AMC stay up? Will it go down? How long will GameStop stay up? All fascinating questions that we watch. But the moral of the story is, the good guys, the little guys, they can sometimes really win and throw that stone at the Goliath and take them out. So bravo. Robin Hood indeed is happening here. So that's what's happening in the world. So pay attention to this if you see it out there. It's a fascinating story. We're going to be hearing more about it in the days to come, and a lot of spin about it as well. And if you out there, anybody is a trader or expert on this, hit me up. I could always use more experts as we learn about this. But in the meanwhile, Wancho, thank you for being here and helping me explain this, correcting me. You can go check out his channel, The Ravens Flock. Go hit that subscribe, support him and his coverage.
Oh, one little thing. We just had a little meeting, and I do have permission to go ahead and let you know. The Ravens Flock will be returning in full force next month, February 20th, 02/20/2021. That is when the Ravens Flock returns.
Love it. Check it out. I'll make sure his link is in the description. I appreciate you being here. Go support. He does some awesome streams and coverage. So go support him. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button right there. Hit the bell for all notifications and smash that like button. I like to try and keep you guys educated. Even if I don't know the topic, I'll try to bring in one of you to help me make sure I'm not sounding like a complete fool. But I appreciate you humoring me on this one, because I like when the little guys win. Thanks for watching, everybody. Stay tuned for more here on Popcorn Planet. Click on these. They're videos too. Yeah, even on your phone. Isn't that weird?
Click it now.
Click it. Click it.